The following podcast is being brought to you by the Defy Life Podcast Network.
On today's episode of the Defy Life Podcast, the guys discuss books in school, what in the hell is doing the Panini, listener questions, they talk about the NFL playoffs, and Pooh is the host of Trivia.
Life. It's more than just about some football. All my sports teams off season go through withdrawals, 30 minutes to tip off. Like Rakim was saying, weak ideas give me ear problems. Sound like thunder and rain. I'm excited that you came on this journey with three of my friends. Defy life till we die and grow wings. Just a different perspective. Haters in every direction. Refuse to live my life based off your projections. Their expectations are lazy. My expectations are crazy. My lady defies me. Koozie, Brown, Brady, Jordan, LeBron, Aaron, Bonds, Mayweather, Ali Foreman. You get the picture. Greatest never born, I attack without warning. This is not around the horn. The other shows whack, a lot of yawning. You really want to be the best, got to pay the price. We make winning look easy. Welcome to Defy Life. Defy Life.
Welcome to the Defy Life Podcast, brought to you by our friends over at Bud Bottles, home of the Bud Bottle and the Bud Freshener. Please visit budbottles.com for your odor eliminating needs. This is episode 90 of the Defy Life Podcast, the Julius Peppers episode. You can listen to us anywhere your favorite podcasts are available. As always, we encourage you to like, share, comment, and whenever you listen. And also leave us a 5-star rating if you're on iTunes. I am your host, Yosh, stepping in for the captain of the ship. Jay, who's out today. He's traveling the road. Safe travels, my brother. But I'm here with my man Al Glymph and Thomas Stevens, and Money will be through in a minute. Hopefully, he suffered a loss, so our prayers with him as well. But Al, man, how's the week been?
Man, you know I'm recovering.
Hey, listen, I wasn't gonna bring it up, bro, because I'm the host today. I can't really go in, but
I gotta keep it real. I keep it real every time I'm on this show. I try to give myself 48 hours with a playoff, 24 hours regular game, 48 hours with the playoffs. So by tomorrow, has it been 48 hours? Damn, I might be slow on.
Yeah, it's been 48 hours, bro.
It's been 48 hours. Okay, so I lied. I ain't there yet, but hopefully by the morning I'll be good. So, but the week has been so far so good. You know, things is great at work, and besides the Cowboys losing, everything on my side of the street, things are pretty good.
Yeah, you was talking real tough last week. I was like, man,
we cash money shit. Cash money shit.
I was like, well, I mean, if your team in the playoffs, I can't be upset. You know what I mean?
Nah,
I was like,
and I was feeling it, and part of it was, I was coming off of watching the game. Amongst 375 Cowboy fans, so I was feeling just all pumped and got that energy, and it's it's the off season. I'm gone fishing like everybody else.
We gonna come back to it, but first off, welcome to the lake. Because we've been fishing for a while. I've been out here with my reel.
The fish biting today. What it look like out there?
The fish is biting. They biting out here.
Okay.
Okay. So Thomas Stevens, who has been in the boat with me since last week. How your week been, bro?
It's going well, man. I feel a lot better than I did last night. I was suffering. I was going through withdrawal last night, man. I've been on a fast, man, for a few days, and I used to start my morning with the order of hash browns, some Chick-fil-A, and a half a bottle of Coca-Cola, to get me going. So I've been off that Coke for a while, man, and I felt my body just withdrawing from it. So it's safe to say I don't think I'm going back to the Coca-Cola, man, once the fast is over. Yeah,
it's got a hold on you. Was it calling you?
Man, it did. It had I felt like Pookie with that thing, man. I had to.
3 days.
I had to have a cherry Coke. Like it used to be calling my name, like
the cherry Coke was calling you.
It was calling my name.
Oh.
Yo, Pooh, come hit this.
Hey,
Come hit this.
Hey, Pooh, was you the one that was with me on that Cherry 7-Up?
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah. You
bruh.
put me on.
Boy, you couldn't find that Cherry 7-Up. You still can't find that Cherry 7-Up. I don't know if you can find 7-Up right now.
Yeah. I saw some in Charlotte.
You saw some in
Cherry
Charlotte?
7-Up. Yeah. I saw some in Charlotte.
Go all the way to Charlotte to get some damn 7-Up nowadays.
Yo, listen, bro.
Coming to the world coming to.
Hey, man. I mean, it's the world is coming to a crazy place. It's coming to a crazy place. But before we get into it, really get into it, bro, like, Al, like, I know watching that game was a joyous occasion because I do not shy away from the fact that I am a Cowboy hater. But the question I have for a Cowboys fan was,
yes, sir,
what was the feeling to watch you get manhandled? Like 2 backs over 100 yards. Like that hurts. Like if Goff and them would have just tossed that bitch around the yard, I think that would have felt a little bit better than what happened. So what was that feeling like?
I mean, anytime you give up 200 plus yards rushing, it's a terrible statement for the physicality, your defense, and the scheme. And I guess, as you're watching it, you just like, damn, we can't stop the run. Damn, we can't stop the run. And we ain't had that problem much this year. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when you got 2 backs going over 100, to me, that's more scheme. And, like our coaches are better than your coaches right now because we don't figure something out there. It don't really matter what running back. We opening up holes and we blocking your men and they're not getting off the ball. So to me, like, that's what I took away from it is just like, yo, I don't know what they saw in their video room and what they brought into their game planning, but it worked. So just, props to their coaching staff. It didn't feel good, but to answer your question, it didn't feel good.
I mean, I just felt like, I think, I don't know. I think I'm gonna be honest. I think Jason Garrett just got to go. They looked ill prepared. Like they just looked like they weren't prepared for what Los Angeles was doing or anything. They just didn't look prepared. Like, Pooh, what did you think about that game?
I couldn't really, man. I couldn't believe that they was just getting it handed to them like that because I've been watching the Cowboys and I really been noticing that wherever they went, they D pretty much traveled, despite maybe 2 or 3 games that the D did, that you were able to run on them. But I didn't expect that from Rod Marinelli's D because the D line, they're always active and they have 2 of the best linebackers in the game right now, 2, best young backers. I really didn't expect for LA to get off in them like that. I didn't.
And I'm not one of the fans that screams for Garrett's head. I'm someone that I like his approach to the game. I like stability in general. Is just to have someone else in, So I'm a Garrett fan. Like I've always I like his approach. I like how he sees the game. I like how he deals with the media. I like how he relates to our owner, which is always iffy. You bring somebody in here that causes chaos with Jerry if they don't get along right. So I don't take that for granted. I appreciate how they get along. So I mean, I don't just the quick. You got to go for. I'm not that dude. I like to give them another shot myself because this is a young crew. You've been coaching them. I think when you look at young players coming to play in a playoff game, it's hard to say if it's the coaching or the players just wasn't. They didn't step it up. They didn't get mentally ready and locked in. And I think the proof of being to put in next year. I think if we have a repeat of this year, next year, I would probably be more on Garrett got to go, but because I think they on the cusp of being better. So I wouldn't just leave just to leave. You risk the progress on that for me.
I mean, my thing is like how long has he's been the coach there for a minute? So I mean, like how are you saying, okay, well, you know, he's 2-3 in the playoffs, 77-59 overall. He's been there for 11 years. Like, how is it that we're not calling for his job yet? You know what I mean? Like, I understand, but he can't win big games. He's proven not to be able to win big games, because I think that, okay, so if you're going to tell me that is over a period of time he's had other teams that have done this and done that, but shoot, you're talking about he has 2 playoff wins in 11 years. Marvin Lewis just got fired. What he was there 15 years? Jason Garrett,
something like that.
Jason Garrett has had that same role.
I don't think he had any, right? I don't think Marvin Lewis.
No, and Marvin Lewis didn't have any, and you know, right. and I ride for my black brothers, but bro, you should have been fired about 2-3 years ago.
But see, I tend to be more on the stability side rather than how the NFL, some NFL franchises are in. Oh, you didn't get it done, you got to go.
Well, then again, isn't it a business though? Aren't we talking business?
It is a business, but when I'm evaluating my personnel, I'm taking everything into consideration when I look at your particular performance, not necessarily the bottom line. Did we win? You know what I mean? Like, because I would look at, I don't think Jason Garrett is the reason. You know what I mean? Like, what's the reason? So what's the reason? Part of the problem has been lack of talent. Part of the problem has been free agent moves not working out. Part of the problem has been injuries. Part of the problem is people in our division were better than us. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean,
but every year, but according to a Cowboy fan, every year y'all the best team in the division.
That everybody's attitude, and if you're not, shame on you as a fan. If you don't come to the table every year thinking your team got a shot to win it, then you probably should pick another team, or you shouldn't call yourself a fan.
I agree with you. I agree with you there. I agree. Well, I mean, except for last season, I just believe that Eli Manning was just whatever. But anyway, we'll come back to all that. We'll get back into that a little bit. Let's get into our little news for a minute. And as Jay always says, we're determined to go into the listener questions on a high note. But I had so we'll go with the low note first, and then the second one, I promise you, it's funny as crap. But anyway, needless to say, I'm a teacher and a coach, and I showed a video. For those who don't know, if you've seen the video, we're reading the book called Lay That Trumpet in Our Hands. And there's a video that goes with it called, and if you haven't seen it, I suggest you watch it. It's called A Time to Kill. It's with Samuel L. Jackson and Matthew McConaughey. And Samuel L. Jackson's daughter is raped by some racist guys. And his 10-year-old daughter is actually raped by some racist guys. And her father, who's Samuel L. Jackson, when they're headed to court, kills them in front of everybody. He's arrested, and then Matthew McConaughey, who is a white lawyer, and his all-white team do the best job they can to get him off. And they end up getting him off due to Matthew McConaughey's character's summation. Now, through the whole movie, Matthew McConaughey and his family and his friends are tormented by the KKK because they want him to back down, because they want Samuel L. Jackson's character to die. His name is Carl Lee. They want Carl Lee to die. In the book, Lay That Trumpet in Our Hands, it's a young black man named Marvin who was killed by the KKK over a mistaken identity. And this young lady, her name is Risa, her family, young white girl, her family then bands together and goes to try to find justice for Marvin. And so it's about justice and injustice. I put the class in groups, and the groups had to present on different forms of racial injustice in the community just to kind of put their minds in the mindset of the book. So we covered the groups had to do presentations on George Stinney. For those who don't know, George Stinney was the youngest black male to be executed in the electric chair. We did the Scottsboro boys, did the Emmett Till, one group did a historical account of the KKK. Another group talked about the amendments. It was just a bunch of stuff that had to do with racial injustice over history. And so the parent was upset. Now, mind you, the kid was not in my class when I showed the video. She just heard about the video. And this was the mother's response as she put it on Facebook. Now, there was a whole bunch of stuff that came before, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to say all that. I'm just going to pick it up where she said, where's it at? When you suppress the voice of people and local parents in this town because they don't agree with the way the school system is being run, you are controlling them. I am in a place called America, ain't I? You know the full constitutional rights as a law-abiding citizen. This stinks to high heaven. You're shutting down voices of the teachers value people in this town and county. And don't forget the parents of these children. They teach morals and love all at home. You need to stick to the books only. Y'all are teaching this awful slavery stuff in every single class. I am sure this is highly political school system is presently working on putting slavery in math class. Keep your Black History Month so I don't have to hear y'all school executives whine about it. Videos? No, definitely not. KKK raping a little black girl? Are you crazy? Her English teacher did that. Yep, his name is Mr. English. Ha, his name is Mr. Black. Video racist, drilling history video, showing agenda pushing. Oh, he's teaching the wrong subject. Oh, sounds like history, doesn't it? Getting the picture now? I know of a teacher, a very nice black man, a teacher of hers who resigned and went back to his hometown because of this crap. He spoke to her about it. He even didn't agree with this bull crap. And all class titles must match the content of the class. I have a very big mouth when it comes to right and wrong. Thanks for passing this attitude on to me, Daddy. And the balls to say it. That's what he put in me. You're seeing it here. Lord, I miss him. And then she goes on and on and on to call what we do in the school racist and that we're pushing. She actually opens up with, listen to your kids' school district. Stop pushing your liberal agenda and brainwashing your own select children for future political gain. Al, what are your thoughts on this post?
Wow. So it is so much to unpack in that statement, right? But first, I got a couple of questions.
Okay.
So first of all, how old are the students?
They're freshmen.
Ninth graders, 14 years old.
14, 15, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So not 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds. Okay. Next, the book that you were reading. This is part of the curriculum, an approved book?
It's an approved book by the school. The movie was also approved. I filled out all the paperwork that needed to be filled out, and it was sent to the district. It was sent to my principal, and it was approved.
Okay. So the idea that, because it's an English class, this is literature that's been approved by the district. This is a video that is connected, aligned, thematically, or in terms of the content. It makes perfect sense in the sense of why you would want to stimulate that conversation by showing this video before you get into the book. That makes perfect sense. So this idea that the content doesn't match the English class title seems really bogus. So just off the rip, that's let me just get that established. Let me just make sure before I say that this comment is crazy. Secondly, so the statement that, the comment, slavery is going to be taught in math class, or, keep your Black History Month, like that this history or this content should not be integrated into regular education seems crazy to me, right? So Black history, even though there's a Black History Month, Black history, the things that impact or affect Black people or the Black people have accomplished, or just their Black authors, Black literature, all of that is still part of American history, American literature. So even though for whatever reason we have a month set aside, the idea that you can't talk about slavery in October or talk about the impact on slavery and another subject. So, I mean, you know, it might even come up in science for whatever reason, but whatever. I mean, it just seems ludicrous to me, I guess. And then the last thing is this idea that a district is pushing a political agenda. I mean, I'm not from up there, so I can't speak to one way or the other. But so, would that mean that for the predominantly white districts who might be doing something similar, but from a mainstream white perspective, are they pushing a political agenda or not? No, they're just running the school the best way they know how. I'm assuming your district is doing the same thing, offering content that their instructors, their leaders, their super, all of these people who are put in place because of their expertise to educate our youth. To me, what you're telling me seems like within their prerogative, within their right. Like, that's why these people have their jobs. And while I understand parents don't always agree, I get it. Community doesn't always agree. Students don't always agree. That makes sense to me. But to accuse people of pushing political agendas just because you don't agree with their content seems crazy to me. And then I guess my other part is like, what's her problem with the message of that movie? Because to me, what I appreciated about Time to Kill, and also about what I'm appreciating about what you're telling me about this book, I'm not familiar with them, but I like the idea that there are white people being portrayed who recognize injustice and will utilize their role and privilege to assist Black folk in the cause of justice. Like, that message to me should be pushed even more, because what you really find in today's society, especially with I'm thinking of all types of adjectives, but I guess I'll just go with the clown that we have as a president.
Yeah,
is that we don't have enough people that quote unquote are Trump supporters willing to step up and stand up and use their access and privilege in this society to say, you know what, yeah, I might be white, yeah, I might not be educated, or I might be educated, but whatever, but you know what, that's wrong. And I might be conservative, I might be Republican, but I'm not going to stand for that. There are some basic standards of decency that as Americans, I don't understand why we can't agree on that. And to me, that message of Time to Kill seems to be a message that we all would support. Yeah. So to like, you know, sometimes when people object to something, they really are revealing like their character and who they are. And to me, that's what I hear in that, because I get to well, why wouldn't you want your daughter to be exposed to these concepts? And why is the idea that a white person would want to help a Black person liberal or leftist, or like, we all can't agree on that? Like, to me, like, that's just some basic decency stuff. And I guess to me, she's more of the problem in the society than you or the message of those books. That's what I got.
Well, and before we go to Thomas's point, you brought up the point of, you know, why wouldn't she see the message? Her comment in the meeting with the principal before she took to Facebook was, this is showing white people in a negative light. And I said, well, one, your daughter heard about what we watched from a friend, and we haven't gotten to the end of the story yet. That's the first thing. I said, now the second thing is this shows white people in a positive light because it is a white man with his white team, a white lawyer who, for less money than he would have gotten, who took less money to defend this man, who ended up meeting him at the same time. And then in the end, they become friends. Two people who had not been friends become friends. So, like, what is the negative? What is negative in this? Oh, because your daughter heard that something happened and then you jumped off the deep end? No. How about you rent the video and go watch it? But, hey, Thomas, what are your thoughts, man?
Hey, I'm pretty much aligned with Al. He broke it down. I mean, schematically, he broke it down perfectly. But it's just, to me, I don't think she liked the depiction of just what actually happened. You know, it's not far-fetched, and of course, you know, I mean, Caucasian guys raped and pillaged, you know, African American girls and men and whatever else. So it seems as though she wants to keep it in the dark for some odd reason. You know, because to say she don't want it to bring out what I guess what was known and about bringing the Caucasian people in a positive you know connotation that really makes that doesn't really make sense, because that was a small part of the movie, you know, and the big picture was like you broke it down. Okay, the you know the white lawyer and his team and his legal team band together to get this gentleman off for the common cause of justice and the right thing to do. So that was the grand scheme of things. However, she couldn't get past the depiction of the things that actually happened and you know Caucasians actually done. So again, I go back to Al with, to me, that actually shows her character, because she starts off with suppressing voices. Okay, you want to suppress the voices of justice and good, and with you, she want to suppress your voice, as in bringing those things to attention that should be brought to attention. You know, but that's my voice on. Oh, and I do want to say this, like, I'm in middle school, dude, and we rarely ever touch on. There's nothing almost in our books on touching about slavery and things that happened, you know, before time, and the Klan did this and the Klan. Man, we got kids that wouldn't have a clue what the Klan is if it wasn't for movies coming out, you know, nowadays, because they don't even touch it in school almost. You know, maybe 15% of the time, it's almost completely out of the textbook. So, yeah. Hey, I definitely applaud. I applaud the enlightenment that you're giving those young men and young women.
I mean, and the thing to me, that kind of, I'm gonna tell you, and let me get you guys' opinions. So, Al, do you think that her thought process is her thoughts or her feelings, she's just the only one verbalizing it? Because you said that just so it be known, I work at a school that is 71% white. So I'm asking you, do you think this is the feelings of more than not, or do you think that this is just the rantings of a crazy woman?
I think it's the rantings of a crazy woman, but she does represent a crazy crew. I mean, I definitely think she's voicing the sentiment of, you know, some white folks. I mean, when you look at the polling, there are consistently 35% of the Republican conservative crew that are continually supporting Trump, regardless of the racist, sexist, anti-immigrant comments that come out of his mouth, right? And so I really think she is representing a segment And I think a segment that also feels when you listen to her comment that something is being taken away, whether it's their history, their legacy, this false notion that everything white was good, and this white supremacy concept. And I think so when people are challenging that and coming up with alternative worldviews, I think it's challenging. And I think so the idea that you would want to not put down or show the Klan in negative light, right? Why wouldn't you want people to see them do what they've done to so many people?
Exactly.
Why wouldn't you want that shown? Because it's what happened. So it reminds me of two things. One, it reminds me of our president when he made this comment of, when in Charlottesville, how they're what did he say? The nice people on good people on both sides. You know what I mean? Like, so trying to portray that, to be a white supremacist KKK member, you're still a good person, right? So I think she's trying to push this narrative. But the other thing it reminds me of, so you've seen people who have got caught cheating or offending somebody, and they give some little false ass apology, and then you never supposed to bring it up ever again. And whenever you bring up what you did to me, it's like, why you gonna always bring that up? Damn, every day you keep bringing it up. Like, I ain't mentioned it in a year. But the reality is you did do this to me. So, like, when white people get to this place where they don't want you to bring up slavery, they don't want you to mention the Klan, it ain't like we talking about something that's not factual. This is what happened. And it ain't like they've ever made up for it. You know what I mean? So, in so many ways, I don't even know if y'all have ever apologized. You know what I mean? Y'all ain't even sorry. It's like, I just want us to move on. Just shut up and just go on with your life.
Yeah.
And I just think it's history, and people want to, educate our youth in history, if anything, so that people don't repeat it.
Right.
I'm like, cool. I applaud you.
And then she dug down deep in the cookie jar and been like, yeah, this black teacher was here. He agreed with everything, and that's why he left the dish. I was like, what?
Right.
So and his thing, I don't even believe that foolishness.
No.
You know what I mean?
No, dude.
Now, mind you, she's withdrawn. She's taking her kid out to school now, and but it was for more than this. There was an incident with where apparently there was a group of black girls playing with a ball or whatever in gym, and there was a group of white girls. The ball went over by the black girls. The black girls, I guess, kicked it away or whatever. She went over to the black girls, took the ball, threw it down the hallway, and then said, "That's for y'all being rude," and then went back to her group or whatever. And then I guess it spilled over into my class, where they were, because a couple of them were in my class, and they were just kind of making little slick comments here. And then I didn't know what had happened until after she had withdrew. So, and then she said there was, because I called her out of class when they told me about everything. And I said, well, if you feel uncomfortable, I said, do you understand? And I explained to her why the video was being shown. And I explained to her about the purpose of everything, and how white people are shown in a positive light in this book and in this movie, and even in the book we're actually about to, the one that's after this book, which is To Kill a Mockingbird, which is about a lawyer who is defending a black man who was falsely accused of rape in 1933, and like all of this thing is showing people in interest of the search of justice in the midst of all the prejudice, which they should find intimidating, but they don't. They fight through it. And she said, well, the white kids at the school are scared of the black kids. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute. Like, this is 71%. This is a predominantly white school. Like, how were the black kids scared of the white kids? Like, I don't get it. Well, some black kids cut some of my white friends, and I just said it wasn't going to be like that. And I went and told them about themselves. I was like, okay. So I just think that I think that her upbringing has got her kind of screwed up, and it's sad because it's just going to show it. I always feel like stuff like this is learned behavior, and she's going to grow up being just like her mom.
Of course.
So, I mean, but you know, I feel like we spent enough time on the foolishness, and now we're gonna do the Pannido. Now, if you have not seen it, man, there is a video by Jack in the Box. Now, if you've never been to Jack in the Box got some good food. But in the pre-show meeting, we talked about doing the Pannido, and Thomas pointed it out to us, and we went and watched the video. If you have not watched this video, please, I am begging you, Defy Life audience, go and watch. All you gotta do is type in "do the Pannido." Thomas, what was your reaction to? Are you doing the Pannido? Like, are you gonna do the Pannido?
Of course not. Of course not.
What was your reaction to the Pannido, man?
I thought it was like a sick joke. I thought it was. You know how you on YouTube and you click on something and be like, the Mayweather fight, and you click on it and it's totally not the Mayweather fight. You know, like somebody sucked me in to watch something that I really don't want to watch. So it's the playoffs and the commercial jump on, and I was like, oh, okay, they're about to show this new burger or something. You know, and I see the Jack in the Box, he jump up, and I was like, all right, okay, the music come on, and I was like, whoa, they're not supposed to be doing this. So it's in the midst of the video, and people carrying on and gyrating and whatnot.
No, it ain't just people, it's grown men.
Man, grown man. So my wife looks at me and was like, "Yo, what are you watching?" And I was like, "Man, chill out, man. This was on TV. You fucking." So at that point, she's questioning my man good. At that point,
hey, she was questioning.
I had to shut the Pannido down at that point.
Hey Al, what was your first reaction to the Pannido?
Wow.
That was it. It was wow.
I think it was wow, just wow. And then I chuckled. I had to watch it over again. I was watching it without the music playing, so I'm like, maybe I'm missing the like, what are they saying here? And it's just a song. It's like a video, a music video.
It's like a music. That is exactly it. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna play it for the listeners real quick. Hold on.
Jack in the Box.
Y'all not gonna be able to hear it, but
No mess bag. Get a trio. Get into it while you're working at a construction site. Wear a hard hat, you're gonna do it right. Penny, do it low. A penny, do it slow. Penny, do it low.
Yo, and then at the bottom of the commercial it says "Men at Twerk."
Men at work. Yes.
Yo, like, what was your thought? Like, did you see the black dude that was like in the front holding on to the cone and was like getting it?
Yeah.
I was disturbed, man. I think I was highly disturbed by that video. It's funny as hell, but I was highly disturbed.
Yeah, I would love to hear the creators talk about it.
The
like,
production meeting.
Right, here's what we were thinking about. All the love to be in there. Like, so I got this idea, right, where we just gonna play some music. We'll have like 3 or 4 dudes. You know, maybe they could be construction workers. Yeah, I like that idea. And out of nowhere, they can just bust in this and doing some twerks, and we'll have the Jack in the Box guy standing there doing his little dance. I mean, I would love to have kind of heard the creation of this. How did y'all get to this point?
Yeah, but think about this though, real quick. They had to get some guys that knew how to do that shit. Like,
and
them
some
dudes,
did it really well.
like I felt weird, like looking like, am I supposed to be watching a commercial like this? I don't think this. They was kind of good. Like, I was like, this is some bullshit. Like, I need to stop watching this. Like,
yeah, I was like, but do you totally understand that lot of people okayed this commercial to be played. Like Jack in the Box executives and marketing and whoever else was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Go ahead and go with it. Like,
but I think
it's insane.
I think it kind of goes to what, that Gillette commercial that I was talking about off air, right? It's the idea of this toxic masculinity is the phrase I keep hearing. So there's this idea that, why can't a man get out there and twerk if he wants to twerk?
Because it ain't
like,
right.
Who says a man can't twerk if he wants, because that's, and I just think, I don't get it. I don't get people's understanding of masculinity. Like that I'm one who is a traditionalist, respect, and I get the world is evolving. I get maybe I'm part of a smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller group. I get all of that. And I'm not saying I think people should just be bullied and people, like the worst of our, not men, but people. I don't think anybody should be bullied. I don't think anybody should be sexually harassed. Like whatever y'all saying, but there's some things that I'm just gonna hold on to, and that I'm with you. That seems kind of different. I ain't never done. That's all I know.
I ain't never ever twerked in my life, and I don't foresee it happening ever in my life. But hey, it kind of wee boy, I tell you. But anyway, that's some. If you have not seen it, do the Pannido. I will never ever do the Pannido. Just so y'all know, it'll never happen.
That's not me.
All right. So on a good note, we're gonna move on to some listener questions. The first listener question is from Mo in Atlanta. Now, Mo, I'm not really sure if it's a guy or a girl, so we're gonna go he, she, or something like that. Wants to know.
Let's go with she. We
She?
don't get enough.
We're gonna go with she.
Right. We don't get enough female
Name Mo.
listeners. Right.
Okay.
We don't get enough female listener questions. So let's just assume
But
it's
what
a
if?
she.
But what if it's a dude though?
Well, no disrespect, Mo. If it's a dude.
Oh, okay.
No disrespect.
Okay,
No disrespect.
no disrespect to Mo
None
if
at
it's
all.
a dude.
Not at all.
Right, but next time just say Mo the dude.
Mo the dude.
So, right.
So we know.
Or spell Mo with more than M-O. You got to put like an E on the end.
Yeah.
If it's
yeah.
M-O-E.
Because real talk, I do know a Mo.
I know Mo.
Yo, I know.
Lives in Atlanta, and it's a female.
Okay.
Now I know 3 Mo's that are dudes. They all from Jersey, but I know 3 of them.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so I mean,
So I'm assuming this is the Mo I know
the female.
that lives in Atlanta.
Okay.
She's a female.
All right.
And we're going to, what up, Mo? Hey, how you doing?
What up, Mo?
Yet, what up, Mo? Yet, no
That's
disrespect
right,
if it's a man, Mo.
No disrespect.
No
Not
disrespect.
at
All right. So she wants to know who was the biggest surprise of the NFL season for you, Pooh? Who was the biggest NFL surprise? Who was the biggest surprise in the NFL this year?
Wow. Well, now that the regular season is said and done, wow, man, I want to say, you know what? I'm gonna be the oddball. Of course, you would say, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, why not? But I'm gonna go with Darius Leonard, man. The kid out of the small school, South Carolina State. The defensive rookie of the year, could be the defensive player of the year. I'm gonna go with that kid. I'm gonna go with Darius Leonard from South Carolina State.
That kid's a stud, man.
Yes, sir.
That kid is an
All that kid
all-out
wanted to do was
flipping stud.
All
Al,
he
what's
wanted
your
to do was play
what's your
for
surprise?
Clemson. Win.
My biggest surprise was how terrible the Raiders were this year. Like,
Okay.
I didn't expect them to go to the Super Bowl, but I'm shocked that they only won 4 games. And, when you pay John Gruden all that cash to be a coach, and basically he does 2 trades that puts 2 other teams in the playoffs, he should be GM of the year for sending 2 teams in the playoffs for the first time in history. That's pretty impressive. I ain't expecting to be this terrible. So that's my surprise.
Yeah. I don't even know what I was thinking when Gruden. I expected more, but you figured he dumped the team. He ended up with a lot of draft picks. I guess we won't be able to judge him really until we figure out what he does with these draft picks. So my biggest surprise of the NFL season, and since I've been on the show, I think I've been consistent. My biggest surprise is that Eli Manning is still walking. I thought for sure he would have tripped coming out of the shower and dislocated his knee and been out for the year. So I don't know. But Mo from Atlanta, we appreciate the question. Hopefully, hit us up with your surprise. All right. Next question.
Right.
We'll start with Al first. Your all-time college b-ball starting five.
Yeah, right. I thought that was an interesting question. I had to give a little thought to that. So my starting five, I would go with my point guard would be Isaiah Thomas. My shooting guard would be Steph Curry. Since we're in college, I'm going with the three guard alignment. So that's going to throw Michael Jordan in my three. I would go C. Webb as my forward, and then I got to get a Laker in there and throw Kareem as my center.
That sounds more like a professional team, man. You got to go college, man. But
they was all great.
They was all good college players. I give you that.
I mean, not good. Great play. Steph had that great run in the championship.
Yeah, but I don't think his game elevated more when he went to college, man. I mean, when he went to high school, when he went to the NBA. So I don't know.
I think I agree with you. He definitely took a leap. But if you go back to that run he had,
he had a good run. Now he had a great run. He had an historic.
I'm putting that shooter in my lineup to go with Michael and Isaiah.
All right. What you got, Thomas?
Man, I'm gonna start off at the center position. I thought this kid was gonna go to the pros and be elite, just elite of the elite. I'm gonna go with Marcus Camby at center. At UMass, man, he was so dominant. At the 4, I'm gonna go Tim Duncan. The beast of the ACC. At small 4, I'm gonna go Grant Hill. Good defender. High flyer. Of course, 2 guard. Needless. Of course, I'm gonna go Michael Jordan. Of course, I'm gonna go Michael Jordan. At point guard, if I didn't go Mike, I'm gonna play Steve Francis at shooting guard.
That's big.
All right. Yeah, and then at point guard, I'm gonna go Allen Iverson.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we the same, but we differ a little bit. I think hands down one of the best centers in college basketball. One of the most dominant centers, and if you have not had an opportunity to see him, Marcus Camby was a stud at UMass.
My goodness, he was a monster.
Marcus Camby was a stud at UMass.
Monster. Him and Joe was all college.
Oh, my God.
Joe. They was at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Camby, Joe, and Tim, right?
Oh, yeah. Man, listen.
That was tough.
Now, I had a decision between C. Webb and Tim Duncan, but then I went a little bit left. And I was like, huh?
Mashburn.
No, Mashburn was at the small forward. So I went with somebody who could play the 4 and the 5. Sheed was in the list too, because I was like, damn, Sheed was a stud at Carolina.
Yeah.
But I went with somebody who could play the 4 and the 3 because of the versatileness of him.
Okay.
Ed O'Bannon. From UCLA. Ed O'Bannon was.
Yeah. Of course we know Ed.
Ed O'Bannon. Boy. Ed used to get me hyped. All right. Then I went at the 3. That's where I put Mashburn. I put Mashburn at the 3. Or I figured between him and James Worthy, it's kind of like a toss up. But Worthy was the man, so you kind of got to go. I think at the 2, hands down, you got to go Mike. But I wouldn't have went with Steve Francis at the 2 instead of if I wasn't gonna get Mike, I wouldn't have went Steve Francis.
Right.
I would have went LaRon Prophet.
Okay.
The other part of that backcourt at Maryland with Steve Francis.
Yeah, Maryland. Yeah, I remember Prophet.
Them boys was,
Yeah, I remember Prophet.
oh man. And then in college, although I liked Iverson and I love Bobby Hurley,
Okay.
damn near one of the best point guards I think in college was Stephon Marbury.
Yeah. Steph was nasty. Yeah, Steph was nasty.
Woo wee, boy. But I just think as far as the college level, this was a tough question because college players,
tough.
there's so many great college players.
Yeah.
'Cause
Agreed.
Kids like at the college level, there is so many. You could be great at the college level and never crack an NBA roster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Look how good Joe Smith. Joe Smith was man. He was that dude in college.
Yeah,
that dude.
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, and you talking
Antoine
about
James.
Antoine,
the pro game is so different. Like you playing so many more games, you playing better talent. You got so many more distractions. You got money in your pocket to travel.
Yeah, that's that's a tough question. And I mean, like, well, let me ask you this to kind of tie in with the question from Jeff from Detroit. It kind of ties in with Jeff's question. What are your thoughts on the sensation at Duke right now? Like, what do you think about that kid? Like, is he? Do you think he's worth the number 1 pick?
Like I've seen, he's a very, very talented player. And I think when you, at the NBA nowadays, they are drafting for potential. So, I think he's a player that I think him and that guard, his teammate, are 2 of the best players I've seen, this year. But I haven't watched a lot of college basketball to, be able to say they're the best in the league. But they're really, really good. Really good.
I've had the opportunity to watch Zion up close, in person when he was in high school, when he was a senior in high school, and I'm still waiting to see that game take that next leap. To see his game take that next, because he's just super freaking athletic. I think he's an athletic Draymond Green. That's my kind of assessment of him. What are your thoughts, Pooh? I don't know if you get a chance to watch him much, but
I don't. I mean, because I don't really do college basketball right now.
Yeah,
not anymore. But all I know, if he would have came out last year, if he was able to come out last year, he would have been the number 1 draft pick.
Nah, I will say this.
He would have been the number 1 draft pick last year. So I know for sure he's the number 1 pick this year.
I don't know, man. There's a kid, and I want you to look him up. Listeners, go look him up. His name is Ja Morant. I'm gonna tell you what school. Hold on, because I am all right.
The kid that compared to Westbrook from some.
Yes, I coached against that kid. Ja Morant from Murray State. The kid is a stud. He can hit the 3 from anywhere on the floor. He could put the ball on the floor. He's damn near averaging a triple-double, and he will dunk on your ass. Ja Morant, 6'3", and is a certified stud. And like I said, I've had a humble kid, loves basketball, and I really, really think he's probably going to end up being the number 1 pick. If you haven't looked him up, go look up Ja Morant. And the kid is amazing. He can ball. He can flat out ball. And it's just it's crazy when you've had an opportunity to interact with a kid and then see them do well. I mean, and I'm not partial to him because Zion's from South Carolina as well. And I must say this, that says a lot for South Carolina basketball when 2 of the top 5 picks are going to be from South Carolina. Ja's a sophomore right now and Zion is a freshman. You know what I'm saying? Like that says a lot about South Carolina basketball and where it's come from, and where it's headed and where it's come from.
Right.
Where did he go to? You know where he went to school in South Carolina?
Who?
Like what high school?
Ja Morant.
Zion
went to Spartanburg Day.
Okay.
Zion went to Spartanburg Day, and Ja Morant went to Crestwood High School in Sumter. So I mean, it's definitely like these guys are really, really playing, and they got some other guys out there that's really, really getting. So Jeff from Detroit, we hope we were able to help you out. And once again, if you're going to ask the question, answer it. Send us what your answer is to your all-time college b-ball team, starting 5. Send it to info@godefylife.com. That's info@godefylife.com. So next, we're going to move on to the NFL playoffs. I don't know which direction we go. Let's talk about each game real quick, and then we'll go forward and we'll get some predictions. What did y'all think? Do you think that the Magic in Philly just ran out, or did they just run into the Saints? Thomas, what are your thoughts?
Screw Philly. I'm done.
Yo, here's the thing. I didn't mean to throw it to you first, but I was like, I couldn't resist. I had to throw it to you first.
Yeah, that's all I have to say about the Philly question. Screw Philly.
So we moving on? Like,
yeah, I'm done with them.
Al, what are your thoughts about the Philly Magic, man? Do you think there's going to be a controversy maybe, or do you think it was just their time? You know, I just don't know. There's so many layers to peel back with Philly.
I think they ran up against a better team. You know, just simple as that. I think they played well to keep it, you know, as close as it was, considering that they got stomped the last time they played them. And I don't think there's no controversy. I think Foles is out of here. I think he's going to leave as a free agent, and they just not going to pay 2 guys that kind of cash.
Well, I mean, it's been paying off so far, though.
Yeah, but you know, I think it's like a $20 million hit now.
Yeah, it's a $20 million. It is a $20 million player option now.
So,
oh wow, that much?
Yeah. If they keep him, it's a $20 million option. Now, if I'm Nick Foles and I'm happy with my situation and I like that bread, I'm gonna sit right there. I'm gonna sit right there, collect this check, and you know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, I tried to go out on my own before, it ain't worked. So I'll be a $20 million backup.
Wow.
Wentz is injury prone. I get that $20 million player option, and then they trade me. Shit, I'm still good.
Yeah, still good.
Yeah, so I mean that's one thing. And now we talked about Al's team already, so I guess we don't want to reopen that wound since it's kind of healed. We ain't gonna go back to that one since we already took care of that. What did y'all think about the New England game, Thomas? Since you didn't speak on the other game, I figured you'd speak on this game. On Tom, the greatness of and there was air quotes in case nobody saw me. I put up the air quotes. The greatness of Tom Brady and the genius of Bill Belichick. What's your thoughts on that game?
They look like the New England Patriots. They had a great game plan, passing, rushing. They look like the Patriots of old, and they're definitely gonna be tough to beat. They're gonna be tough to beat.
So Al, what were your thoughts? How were you? I don't know if you got a chance to see the game. What were your thoughts of, like, Phillip Rivers can't seem to get over the hump? Like, what did you think about that particular aspect of it? Like, he gave it a go, but he just doesn't seem like he can win the big one.
Well, I think he can't win the big one against Brady. So, and when you are like 0-8 against somebody, I mean, I know a lot of numbers don't mean much, but quarterback to quarterback, if you ain't never beat me and I don't beat you 8 times, you bring that onto the field. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised he lost. and I thought they would play a little better. But shout out to Brady and Belichick. Like their offense was clicking. I mean, they were just flying down the field for the first 3 or 4 quarters. I mean, 3 or 4 drives. So shout out to their coaching and the execution of their offense, because by the second quarter, that's when I stopped watching.
Yeah, that game was over.
Yeah, it was over. They got flat out coached, man. They got out coached because they're talent wise, they're talented. They got flat out coached, man. It was embarrassing, I think.
Yeah, I thought so too. Their defense got embarrassed, and the fact that the defensive coordinator and the head coach would not change what they were doing defensively, and you got people running wide open. Like I could have completed half them damn passes. The people they were wide open. Like James White been catching passes since high school, and he has 15 receptions. Like, so who didn't know he was going to catch the ball? Like it's Edelman has what was it? 11 catches, and 6 of them were for first downs. Like, I mean, it was crazy. Now my next question is, I don't know if anybody expected a different outcome. I didn't. I thought Kansas City was going to roll Indianapolis up off the gate. Question is, did Indianapolis overachieve and to make it to that point, or did they belong? Just Kansas City rolled them. Al, what's your thoughts on that?
I think they belonged there. They was a hot team. When you look at Luck getting better, stronger, taking a year off, I looked at them as a team. I actually thought it was going to be a much better game than that. I actually had picked the Colts. I thought they would slow down that offense, but
so you were shooting bad this weekend, huh?
I'm dead ass wrong. Right? I really did shoot bad. I think I called 3 or 4. I was 2 for 2. I was a little surprised. But shout out to Mahomes. That young boy, his poise and talent separate him quarterback. Because I just think to be that young, and this is his first full year, you don't see any cracks. You see somebody who comes to play, comes to win, and just leaves it all on the field.
Yeah,
and that's all you got. Quarterback. He makes some really good decisions. Really good decisions.
Yeah, Thomas, what was your thoughts on that game?
I think defensively, I think they overachieved. Offensively, of course, anytime you have Luck, you're going to be solid. And you give him an offensive line, he's going to produce. We gave him a solid back, tight ends, a few decent wide receivers, T.Y., as the lead guy. But offensively, that's what I expected him to be. I think he was second in the NFL in touchdowns, was Luck with 39 passing to Mahomes, 50, 51. But defensively, man, they definitely overachieved. I think they played like 7 rookies or something ridiculous like that. So the defensive line, they didn't really have a man guy on the D line. They had the 2 rookies at linebacker. They don't really have a top-notch guy in the secondary. So to me, they drastically overachieved, defensively to get where they were. I think they won 7 of their last 8 or something ridiculous like that. So of course they earned the right to be there because they won the games. But I think defensively, they played out of their shells and played out of their minds to get to the playoffs. So I think they overachieved in that aspect.
Yeah, that's what I was. That was my thoughts on it. So going forward, Thomas, we'll start since all of us are NFC guys, and it's probably painful to talk about. We're starting the AFC. What do we think is going to come of the AFC Championship game?
It's tough to go against Brady and Belichick. However, I'm rooting for Andy. I'm rooting for Andy to get there. I'm rooting for the Chiefs. It's going to be very, very difficult because the game plan. Of course, they're gonna have somebody over top of Reek. They're gonna make sure they cover Kelsey, and pretty much they're gonna depend on their front seven to stop the run game. So it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough to beat the Patriots. No matter, I don't care if you play them in a sandlot, at the local high school football field. So that home field advantage when you're playing against the Patriots, I don't think it means that much, because of course to beat the champ, you got to beat the champ, and they're not the champion, so to speak, of the league, but they're the champion of the AFC. So it's gonna be tough to beat them, man. But I'm rolling with the Chiefs.
Al, what you got, Al?
Yeah, man, this is a hard one to pick. I mean, I want Mahomes to win. Been rooting for that guy all year. It's hard to pick against Brady and Belichick at this time of the year,
right.
And to think that, one thing that shocked me last week out of all the games, besides Dallas just allowing people to run 7,000 yards in the game, was how well the Chiefs defense played in that game. And we know the offense was going to come to play, but they shut down a pretty good Colts team for a large part of that game. And so that was impressive. But the idea that the Patriots aren't going to come in with no one else saw this, but we saw, a way to beat this offense. While I want the Chiefs, I think I'm gonna pick the Patriots. That's where, in terms of who I think is gonna win, I think the Patriots are gonna win.
I think I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I just think that sometimes some things are just destined, and for them to win without Mahomes throwing the actual touchdown last week showed that that they can do it in different ways. So I don't know. I know it's hard to bet against Belichick and Brady, but I don't know. It's something about it that makes me feel like Kansas City's on a roll right now. So for the second game, go ahead.
It's gonna be very hard to beat them twice because the Patriots beat them once.
Yeah.
Oh, they beat them already.
Yeah, the Patriots
beat them in New England. It was like 35-38, something like that. It was a barn burner. It was a great game. Mahomes threw for like 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 picks. I think Brady threw for 1 touchdown, but Michelle ran for like 3. So it was and they ran it down the Chiefs' throat. But Mahomes slung that thing around the field, man.
Shout out to Sony Michel, man. He's been
no doubt.
Sony Michel, he's been a huge pickup for them. He was a huge draft pick for them.
Yeah. Both of them Georgia boys look good.
Yeah, both of them.
Both of them look good. Both of them look good. They got about 5 backs in the league now. Off that team, out of that same backfield.
Yeah, them boys, they just playing.
Early Chubb, Sony Michel, and the kid off IR, he played like the last 2 weeks for Washington. Marshall.
Yeah.
All them kids been in the same backfield.
Well, you're doing something right when your boys are getting drafted. That's the way I say it. And then the last prediction, we're going to go the Saints against the Rams. Like, how tough is that? Thomas, where you at?
Man, that's tough. Last time, the Rams, the Saints edged them out at home. It's tough to go down there and win. But it's going to be tough to beat Drew down there. Defensively, the Rams, they give it up. They have the names. However, they don't really produce with the names that they have that they're garner. You don't really know the Saints' name, but those guys come to play down there in that dome. But you know what? I'm gonna go with LA, man. I'm going with a Kansas City LA Super Bowl.
Okay,
that's what I'm gonna go.
What you got, Al?
Yeah, I think this is going to be. I think both of these games are going to be amazing, and I think this one will be a really, really fun game to watch. I'm going with the Rams. I think Aaron Donald had an okay game against Dallas. I think he's going to be a beast in this game. Opportunity to get to the Super Bowl. I'm looking for really him to be the difference on the field next Sunday, and so I'm going with the Rams.
Yeah, I have to disagree. I just think Breeze is on another planet right now, and I think he's really, really driven. And Alvin Kamara and the guys he's got with him, the guys he has with him are just unadulterated studs. So, but I do agree in the fact that I think that these are two very, very good games, and I think they matched this up real well. So I think the top 4 teams, the top 4 seeds made it. Is that correct? There were no upsets. You can't get it no more right than that, I guess. You can't get it no more right than that. But
that's what you want.
That's what you want. But let's go ahead and get into this trivia. We're going to run it. Thomas is going to be running trivia tonight. So I'm going to leave it up to him. It ain't but 2 contestants. Al, take it easy on me. I ain't been on trivia in a minute. So
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to take it easy on me. And then, Pooh got these complicated ass questions. So you
it
already know
ain't
what it is.
I'm gonna go back.
How many nickels was in the vending machine how many nickels was in the machine at the hideaway spot that them boys had cut and went to in the movie Juice when they was playing the arcade game?
When they came home.
Yo,
I'm gonna go. It's gonna be pretty. It's gonna be pretty basic, man. I'm gonna go back to, since it was last minute. We're gonna do it the little seesaw. I ask you a question. You guys keep naming, seesawing. First person get it wrong, you're out. Y'all good with that?
Hey, that make it simple and quick, and I can actually I could get to bed tonight on time to go back to testing. So I live with it. Jay, let's say this. Jay, don't kill us for this. We just trying to get out of here.
Jay done did it the last 2 times. This is what because I'm gonna go get this, and then I'm gonna finish up this Bulls game. We're in a tight game right now.
All right.
But okay. All right. Since 1989, there has been several 2-time NFL MVPs, or won the award more than twice. Okay, just name one. We keep naming until we run out.
In the last however many years?
Since 1989.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess Al won it last week because you haven't been on in a while. So Al, you go first.
I'll take Brady.
You'll take Brady. Okay, Brady won in 2017, 2010, 2007. Okay, go Yosh.
I'm probably gonna get this wrong, so I'll be out early. I think so. But something makes me want to say Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt Smith won it in 1993. And he did not win another one. See, you're right. That was short and sweet.
I was trying to get. Wait, no. Let's try this again, man. Go again. Now I know I can't win, but it can't be that short and sweet.
Right. Okay, Al, what you got? You got another one?
Peyton. Did Peyton win it twice?
Peyton Manning won it in 2003, 2008, 2009.
If that ain't some shit.
The
2 people I was thinking, I'm thinking back too far.
And who else would you say? Would you have said? Yes.
I would go with It's going to be a quarterback. I just got to think. A quarterback or a running back. God damn it. I know I would have been on the clock by now. Barry Sanders?
Yeah, Barry Sanders.
That's too short of 89.
He only won
it
it in 1997 when he rushed for that 2K, which he should have won it. He should have won it like 2 or 3 times.
Yo, who else is on this list, man? Like, who else is on this damn list?
Let me see if Al got another. You got another one, Al?
Go ahead, Al.
For good measure?
2 times.
2 or more, yeah.
I'll go. Let's try. I'll go with Rodgers. Let's see if Aaron Rodgers did it twice.
Aaron Rodgers won it in 2014. He also won it in 2011. So yeah,
it's
3 for 3. That's 3 for 3, yo.
Wait, hold on now. Hold on, I got to come back. Hold on. Is there more people on this list?
Yeah.
Okay. It's got to be quarterbacks. Like I can't. How about?
It's only like 2 or 3 more here.
How about Brett Favre?
Brett Favre, about time. He won it in 95, 96, and 97. The only 3 times, 3 consecutive year winner.
Oh, that should have been double points.
Yeah, that would have been solid. But you've been out though.
I've been out. So let's keep going. How many more people are on the list?
It's only one. It's only one more. Al, you probably can get this guy.
Oh
no, it's 2 more. Only 2.
I think
more.
I know one.
No. I lied. 3 more. Who?
How about Randy?
Randy Moss.
Yeah, did he win it at all?
They jerked Randy. They only gave it to. They gave him the Offensive Player of the Year, and they gave Tom Brady the MVP that year. That's
Okay.
2000. Yeah, I think that was 2010, 2007. I think that was 2007.
How about John Elway?
John Elway, dude, he didn't even win it from '89. I don't know. He won it like '84.
Damn.
So he's not on the list.
Who else was a stud?
3 more. Adrian Peterson, only 1 and 1, dude. 2012, I guess, when he came back off the ACL and ran for 2K.
Damn.
Yeah.
Who the hell is Troy Aikman?
Troy Aikman, not on the list, bro.
Never.
I think he won it though, but I cut it off.
Yeah, you cut it off. 89.
If he didn't win it before after 89, he didn't win it. Yeah, he didn't win it.
Yeah, because 89 he was a rookie in it.
I think Emmett got his.
Yeah, Emmett got his.
Yeah.
How about Rice? Did Jerry Rice win it?
Jerry Rice, no.
No. Montana?
Joe Montana, 89 and 90. He was NFL MVP. All right, I got 2 more.
Oh man. Shoot.
I'm gonna tell you like this: stick to quarterbacks.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
They jerk everybody else. Yeah, they jerk everybody.
Right. How about Steve Young?
Steve Young. You got it. Steve Young
beat me to it. Beat me to
Steve Young is in 92, and Emmett slid in there. Then he back in 94. So 92, Emmett 93, then he 94. All right, 1 more.
Who else would have won multiple at quarterback?
Vic
Did Vic ever win it?
Vic never won it.
Nah,
Jerk
Vic.
Vic.
Yeah.
Even the year he ran for rush for 1,000 and threw for like 3,200, it jerked him.
What you realize is there have not been that many good quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah. All right, this the last guy, man. Y'all ain't gonna get him.
I was gonna say Drew Brees, but I don't think he's got
Drew.
two.
Man, they jerk Brees. Drew Brees is not even on the list, B. He don't even have a league MVP.
He doesn't even have an MVP,
and he's thrown for 5,000 yards like 7 straight years. That's insane.
Wow.
Yeah, they jerk him, man. They jerk.
That's crazy. Nah,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I can't think. Who was the last one?
Damn, I feel like
Whoa. Once I say the name, y'all gonna be like, man, get out of here.
How about Kurt Warner? Did Kurt Warner win it?
It's that's Kurt Warner. 99 and 2001. It was Kurt Warner. Yeah. 99, 2001.
So I got smacked all in the face.
Marshall Faulk. They split. Him and Marshall Faulk split MVP and Offensive Player of the Year 3 straight years. 99, 2000, 2001. Kurt won MVP 99. Marshall Faulk was Offensive Player of the Year. Marshall Faulk won MVP 2000. Kurt was Offensive Player of the Year. And Kurt won it 2001. Faulk was Offensive Player of the Year. They was racking up, y'all. They was racking up stats, man.
the greatest show on turf.
Greatest show on turf.
Greatest show on turf.
All right, so Al, since you won, we'll let you get your parting shot first.
Parting shots. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real simple. Just great show, great job hosting. Yosh, kept it moving. You keep doing like this, we're gonna start question JR's role in this podcast. But this is definitely one of the highlights of my week, and just appreciate kicking it with y'all. Everybody, shout out to Money, and what he's going through. We thinking about you, your brothers on this podcast, and everybody have a great week, man.
All right, Thomas, go ahead.
No doubt, man. I echo the same sentiments exactly. Godspeed to you and your people, Money. Jay, what up? Everybody rocking with Defy Life. Keep rocking with us. We're getting big and big and bigger. Before long, we'll be at your front door. And good job, Josh. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, man. So, just as they said, if you want any information, you hit us up at info@godefylife.com, info@godefylife.com. Make sure to check us out on all podcast mediums. And Money, prayers be with you from everybody here at Defy Life. And definitely visit www.defylifegear.com and get all your new gear. We got some new stuff dropping soon, so just watch the website and order. Use the Defy first on your first order and get 30% off. I'm sorry, not 30, 10%. Ooh, Jay gonna kill me for that.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Jay gonna kill me for that. 10%. 10%. But 10%. I was doing a great job till then.
Yeah, you just got fired.
I just got fired. Oh my God.
You paying for that, yo? That's what I'm about to do. Paying for that.
It's coming out your check.
Hey, but as my man Money goes, man, if you're not defying life, what are you doing with yours? Y'all have a great week. Peace.
Word down. Peace.
How do you defy life? By standing out from the crowd, living life on your own terms, being unapologetically you. Say it all with Defy Life gear. Stylish apparel and accessories for men, women, and kids. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, bags, outerwear, and more. Visit DefyLifeGear.com for all of your Defy Life gear. And remember, your lifestyle should always be defiant. DefyLifeGear.com.